Good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I want to talk about silence. Not meditation, not exactly meditation, because a lot of you out there, maybe you meditate, maybe you force yourself to meditate for 15 minutes a day, or maybe you can't quite meditate, or maybe you're a master meditator, then maybe this video is not for you. But this video is for people who literally have a problem with silence. How do you know if you're that person? Well, when things get quiet in your life, do you fill it with a to-do list? When you have nothing to do you turn to the person beside you and say, what do you want to do? Do you try to fill time and space with busy items, to-do lists, and other distractions in order so that you may not just focus on the peace, the calm, the stillness, the silence, right? If you're walking, are you always listening to a podcast? Are you always watching a YouTube video? Are you always thumbing through your phone? Are you always doing something to keep busy or to keep active, or even to inspire yourself by listening to positive messages? Maybe you run positive affirmation tapes in the background. Maybe you want to flood your mind with the positive even. This doesn't have to be a negative thing, simply because you think if left to your own devices, your mind will go dark, right? You'll start to think negative. So you'd rather turn on a podcast and learn some information or flood yourself with positive motivation rather than just sit there and stew in your own uncomfortableness, in your own darkness, in your own negative thinking. So if you resonate with this at all, then this video is for you. And I want to talk about that darkness, that negative rumination, those worrisome thoughts, that uncomfortableness to just not do anything or not be anyone, not fill the time with something productive, right? So if you are averse to these things, let's just take a minute right now and stop and take a breath. Now for the next minute, and I know this is going to be dead air on YouTube, but for the next minute, I want you to just allow whatever you're doing to just allow the nothingness. So stop working on your to-do list, stop walking, stop thinking, stop thumbing through your phone, stop doing whatever you're doing, and just take a break, okay? Just for a minute. There it is. There's the silence. And we may be okay for this for a minute, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, maybe up to 5 or 10 minutes. But then we find the need to start to fill the space. Just as I was like, I can't let this go on forever on YouTube. I've got to fill the space. I've got to start to speak. I've got to start to move again. I can't sit here and do nothing, be nothing, think nothing, right? So it's this void that we often fear most in life. And it's our own thoughts, our own spirals, our own negative thinking, our own insecurities, our own shame, our own, all these negative qualities that starts to creep in when we're doing nothing. Maybe it fills you with guilt to do nothing. Maybe you can hear people judging you or your mother's voice. Do something, get active, right? Or maybe it's just the deep, dark memories that you think of when you're quiet. Or whatever it is, there's something that you're afraid of. So next time, I want you to practice getting still. And maybe you can't get all the way still. That's what meditation is about. It's about sitting still, not moving, right? Not thinking, not doing anything, and just getting still. And that's slightly different than what I'm asking you to do here. I'm asking you to not meditate, to not empty your mind of all thoughts, but to just get quiet, to get unbusy, to stop filling the space, to empty the space, much like meditation, but not to empty your mind, okay? So we're sitting, maybe we're standing, maybe we're even walking, but we're emptying the barrage of input, like listening to anything on your phone or doing anything or your active to-do list, anything. We're just being, letting that stillness and that quietness and that space envelop us. And then we're not criticizing our mind for thinking like, oh, this is sort of meditation. You should be quiet. You shouldn't think. No, it's much opposite to that. It's okay. What happens? Now we're noticing what happens when we start to be still and quiet and let the silence into our life. What do we start to think about? What feelings of uncomfort or shame or guilt or grief or anger or anxiety or fear start to fill us? And just notice, how long does it take before our thoughts turn from what we're going to do and what we're going to eat and what we're going to, right? How long does these overturning things take to get to somewhere negative that's a worry, that's an anxiety, that's a grief, right? We're getting deeper. So we're allowing these thoughts, these feelings, these emotions to come, to fill that void, to fill that space of silence when we stop with our to-do list, when we stop all the input, when we stop the conversations, when we're just alone. It's like a meditation, only we allow thoughts, we allow feelings, we allow emotions to rise, to just fill the corners of the silence. And we don't run from them. We don't challenge them. We don't try to solve them or fix them, right? If you're a fixer or if you're a solver, you stop trying to fill that, I have this problem coming up, and then you immediately go into problem solving mode. There's no solving allowed. There's no fixing allowed, right? There's none of that allowed. Just to feel it. So we're just allowing ourselves to feel it, not to fix it, not to judge it, not to criticize it, right? Not to try to baby it, not to comfort it, not to do anything to it, but just allow these thoughts and these feelings and these emotions to fill the edges of what surrounds us and to be with them, to practice being with them without running, without fixing, without comforting, without coddling, without managing, without whatever it is that we normally do with these feelings, without distracting from them, right? So we're just allowing ourselves the silence. And often that space, just the knowledge that we're there witnessing, we're there as a witness, we're there as a curious observer. This is when the real feelings rise to the surface. The real emotions, the real problems, right? The real deep things that we hold on to, we're giving them space and room to move up and to allow them to come out, to be visible, to be seen, to be heard, and to be felt. Mostly to be felt, to be experienced. And we don't have to run. So that's a practice. And it's not really meditation, but I call it a practice of silence, the practice of stillness, the practice of being. So that might sound very esoterical, and you're like, well, how is this going to heal me? What is this going to do for me? But I want you to get into this habit. And I don't just mean 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, although you can start with a timer. I mean, like, give yourself blocks of time, large blocks of time, and see what comes up. See how uncomfortable you get, how hard it is. Where's the resistance that you need to start moving and talking and being and doing, right? You need to fill the urge to fill. So you will notice it when you start to allow yourself to notice, and you'll be like, wow, oh my gosh, am I ever afraid to be alone with this? And you may never, ever realize this otherwise. Wow, I'm really uncomfortable. I have the urge to fill this right now. I literally just can't be still with my own being. It's going to hit you like with great insight. Wow, I am afraid. I am scared of my feelings. I do try to avoid them. I do try to distract from them and run from them and fill them and solve them. Whatever it is that you do, you will see this pattern quickly. Give yourself a week with this practice, right? Really, start with 15 minutes. Every time you have 15 minutes, give yourself an hour. Give yourself 5 hours if you have it. Don't do anything. Resist the urge to get up and do those dishes. Resist the urge to make yourself a cup of tea. Sit down and start penning a to-do list. Resist the urge. See how long you can go. I bet it is not very long, and you will see. It's not really a meditation practice where we're forcing ourselves for a certain amount of time to sit still. It's like, let's notice what comes up. Our need to fill these spaces and what it is we're running from, what it is we're trying to fill. Where's the void? Where's the sadness? Where's the grief? Where's the anger? Where's the fear? Right? Where's the loneliness? Where's the shame? Where's the guilt? Where's the feelings of not good enough? The feelings of unworthiness, right? Where are all these feelings coming from? And notice. This is just simply a practice of noticing. Noticing and being in the stillness. So I hope this video has been helpful. And I really hope that you try this, because it's not something that you can hear me talk about and then just get the insight from. It's something that you really have to do more than once. Like, you really have to put the effort into it. Like, I'm going to go for this. I'm really going to notice this. I'm going to find out some things about myself that I don't know. And it will be very insightful, and I promise you it will be very helpful if you allow yourself to fully go through this exercise and focus on this for a day, a week, 2 weeks, a month. You will notice what you need to notice. You will notice where the parts of you that need to be healed are. You will see them clearly. You will notice your patterns. You'll notice your resistance, right? You'll notice all that resistance to being with yourself, to feeling those feelings that you just push down and don't even know. You really probably think that you're not pushing down feelings. Try this. Try this. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.